came from Bangladesh to participate in this great global event on soil. The theme of this year's Soil Week is very interesting for us. It is the soil, the substance for transformation. In Bangladesh, we have a lot of problem in soil related to climate change. In south part of Bangladesh, we have a huge salinity problem. In the north part, we have desertification problem. So climate change is also aggravating this situation.
We all know 2015 is a year of transformation. We will have the SDGs negotiated and hopefully finalized in the next United Nations General Assembly, September this year. We have the upcoming meeting of the COP of climate.
Soil and land resources will be crucial for the implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals, the post-2015 Development Agenda, as well as the climate and biodiversity agendas. These agendas would benefit from being thought and worked upon together.
We've heard a lot about the SDGs over this last 3 days. We've heard there are 17 of them and that we should consider them as an integrated package. Soils are in many ways the glue or the clay, if you will, that bind most of these together. But yet we have also heard that if we look at business as usual and the land that is needed to meet all the goals of the SDGs, we don't have enough land on planet Earth.
The Sustainable Development Goals brings in also the relevance to also address challenges related to sustainability in developed economies. One example being sustainable consumption and production, and their interrelationship between countries in terms of sustainability, understanding, for instance, externalities, the fact that consumption patterns in one part of the world also affects other parts of the world.
Farming and food production is part of the problem of climate change. But you only can find real solutions if you consider soil, food, agriculture and food production as part of the solutions and make them co-responsible for final solutions and for improving climate change.
Our knowledge democracies must conduct science together with society. Transdisciplinary research seeks dialogue between science and other stakeholders. This must include traditional knowledge and a citizen science that goes beyond citizens as implementers of predefined research questions.
The soil is a future property with the owner, and the owners are here. And the owners are people who are going to get this message. How do we link the scientific knowledge with traditional knowledge so that the two can move together?
For me, the transdisciplinary research in action, it's actually start with the process of all-inclusive approach. The all-inclusive approach means involving the activists, the media, the bureaucrats, the opinion makers together for one point of discussion.
The promise of transdisciplinary research is actually finding integral and practically applicable solutions.
The question that we need to ask and explore into depth is how can a legal, institutional, and administrative framework, a policy strategy formulation be made much more coherent, cross-sectoral and inclusive.
And we do that thinking about not just economic, social, environmental, but also thinking about governance, mechanisms, institutions, and also people.
Soil protection and rehabilitation policies need to be based on a human rights framework, contribute to the progressive realization of the right to food, and emphasize land rights for marginal and vulnerable groups in society.
Let's focus our policies on some of the most critical issues: recognizing and protecting the legitimate land rights of the local people and communities.
It's not only a question of production, although that's important as well, but food security, of course, is a question of access, of equity, of distribution.
The successful implementation of the post-2015 Development Agenda will be knowledge-based. Science must engage in both policy and transformation processes, through which relevant research questions will emerge. The Global Soil Week 2015 witnessed the first joint meeting of the two major international science policy institutions concerned with soil: the Intergovernmental Technical Panel on Soils from the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, and the Science Policy Interface from the United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification.
We see the possibility that both science policy interfaces will benefit if we work, for instance, on carbon sequestration in soil, on poverty reduction.
To work on soil organic carbon, which is an emerging issue not only for desertification but also for climate change and for many other reasons. And the second very pressing issue is to work together on indicators, particularly indicators that could support the upcoming Sustainable Development Goals related to soils.
Time is ticking away. Many people on the run, run, run. There is talk of soil and clay. Stockbrokers still lie, and lives long gone. A gust of wind over fields of dust. A green paper devil's no one to trust. A hungry mouth and a stolen youth just reveal the truth. This soil is a common good. Golden grounds for future living. The home and food. We can't turn the tide 'cause we are mindful good. Sunday shopping at the mall with bargain clothes, cheap food delights. Hardly aware at all. So much of this is gain against human rights. All